Standing up. I ain't used to this.
Juice, obviously you've been playing at a high level your entire career, but your level of competition this year at UCF maybe is a step up from where you've been in the past. Just what are you learning about yourself, kind of raising up to the level of this Big 12 conference?
Just learning how to play through physicality and letting the game come to me. Trusting in my teammates more. Trusting my coaches, knowing they're going to put me in the right spot. So, and just being strong with the ball, not playing with it as much, and being able to be consistent from beyond the arc. And that's one thing I've been learning and like focusing on. I got to make sure I make shots because you're not really getting the calls that you want to get, getting to the hole and stuff like that. So every shot got to count in this league.
Do you guys feel like you're playing on the defensive side of the ball with as much effort as you guys should be?
I could say in certain games. I know Iowa State we could have did a little bit better. But I say some games we do it, some games we don't. We just got to be consistent. We have the talent and the athleticism to do it. We just have to do it more often.
You mentioned being consistent. How do you guys improve that consistency to make sure you get that 100% every game, every possession?
Like Coach Dog always says, our mindset. We have to come out with the mindset of one to stop the team, one to win every game. I know I'm pretty sure everybody wants to win, but we have to truly mean it and make every stop count, every defensive possession count.
Juice, obviously you guys didn't have the outcome you wanted, but you went to Hilton Coliseum against the top 3 team in the nation, and you had a strong performance, 6 of 9 from deep. How does that confidence translate to the next game despite the loss for you?
I was just focusing on winning, just whatever I can do to help my team win. So, and making shots is something I had to do, and that's what I did.
Jordan, how important, I mean, every game's important, obviously, but your guys are back-to-back losses. You go into this Saturday game with TCU. It's not, I wouldn't say a must-win, but how important is this game for you guys to get yourself back on track and maybe get this, kind of turn things around a little bit?
I could say from those losses, we learned a lot about ourselves. We just had to move forward. It's some positive things, in the Houston game. We had a lot of positive things. We came down to, one possession versus, number 1 defense in the country. And I feel like we had a good game, but we just came up short. And in the Iowa State game, we kind of, took some plays back. We just have to, look forward, look at the positive things, stay focused, and keep fighting.
Just can you kind of describe what it means to get hot? Because it feels like you're the kind of player you knock down a shot, you're gonna knock down the next one and the next one. You kind of score in bunches sometimes. Do you kind of feel like that when you're on the court?
Yeah, that's just some I practice, some I always had in me playing this game, but just scoring. I've always been a scorer, so once I see one going in, I kind of feel good. I kind of know the next one going in. So.
What are you kind of proving to yourself this year? Playing in the Big 12, going against these elite level players. Have you've proven to yourself, obviously by now, that you can play with the best, right?
Yeah, I could say just being overlooked. All my life. Some schools didn't want to take a look on me. They said I was too small or wasn't physical enough to be able to play through the bumps and bruises. So just proving to myself that I can do it on any stage, on any level.
Physicality is a word that gets brought up a lot in the Big 12. So 7 games into the season in the conference schedule, how would you describe what you're experiencing night in, night out against some of these other teams?
Just like you said, bigger guys. Just everybody can defend. Everybody got 7-footers that can block shots. I'm experiencing all kinds of things. Everybody can make shots. Can't leave nobody open really. Everybody's good in this league.
Jordan, you guys shot really well from 3 against Iowa State, but the 108 points given up were the most by the program since 2010. TCU is a top 3 scoring offense in the Big 12. What's it going to take defensively to just shut this team down tomorrow and ensure the victory?
Our mindset, guarding the ball, staying in front of the ball, containing their 2 good guards. Not letting them get off, letting them get hot, letting them get going. We do a good job of that. We have a good chance of winning the game.
Like I mentioned before, you guys are on a current 2-game losing streak. Do you have a chance to snap that at home and prevent it from coming 3? What does home court advantage mean to you, and how you guys plan to use that to your advantage?
It means a lot. You got to take care of home. I know, and then our fans, they give us energy. So I know our guys feed off that, so we gonna do. I feel like we play well at home, so we need to take care of our home court at all times.
You feel like you guys' intensity turns up a little bit when you're at home and the crowd gets going?
Most definitely. You know, nights. You know, the fans turn us up all the way. Especially when they turn the night lights on. That get us going.
Juice, I know it's just a late January, but I don't know if you much you look at social media, but they talk about NCAA tournament and the bubble. UCF's right there right now, whether they're last team's in, first team's out. So how important these games are day to day. Is that something that's always in the back of your mind as players, knowing that you got to continue to try to keep winning to make the tournament? Is just kind of one of those unsaid things that the guys already know, or do you guys talk about it?
That's everybody's main goals, but I think we just taking one game at a time, trying to win every game we play that's coming up. I don't think we just focusing on the future right now, where we are, but we gotta take one game at a time, not look ahead. Take one chip it one at a time.
Jordan, you talked a little bit about when what it feels like to kind of get hot, and when you start to feel the shots going down. Is that something that clicks in early on, like you hit maybe one or two shots and all of a sudden you start feeling like, okay, I know I'm going to have a pretty special night? Or is it based on maybe guys you're going up against or defenses you're running? What in your mind really kind of starts to click that all of a sudden I'm going to have a good night?
Like you said, when I hit the first shot, as soon as I see one go in, I kind of got a good feel of the next one going in. So I don't know. It's some games I can go with a half without touching it and still come out and score in bunches. But it just depends on my mind state, whatever the level of focus I have to be in. I know some games Arizona State, I had some rough games of shooting, but it was just the level of focus. I had to pick that back up and focus on the small things and trust in my teammates and my coaches and teammates are giving me confidence and. Things been turning out well for me.
You guys lost the battle of the boards pretty handily against Iowa State, but now you come back home, you talk about having the energy of the crowd behind you. How motivated are you going to be to have everybody contributing to getting rebounds, and how important is that going to play in getting second chance points and just getting the victory overall?
That's what I think that's the reason why we last game we wasn't in the game. I know Iowa State, they beat us on the boards. So I know this game we've been preaching on the boards, rebounding, and so that's what we're gonna do, rebound the ball in order to give us the chance to win. Like I said, this league has a lot of good players. It's gonna come down to one or two possessions, but they can't beat us on the boards. No team can. So we got to do a really good job of that in order to win.
You mentioned having some pretty not as good shooting nights, and you have some pretty good shooting nights. How have you seen yourself grow throughout playing in this Big 12 conference and even the preseason?
Just my mindset, being able to fight through. Not even when I'm not hitting shots, how else can I contribute? How else can I help my team win? And that's been the main focus right there. Just worrying about those things because can't control when the ball go in all the time. So.
You talked about how you maybe felt like you were a little bit overlooked coming out of high school. I know you went to UTSA. I imagine, did Coach Adam Hood, who's obviously here now, I'm sure that's one of the reasons why you're at UCF today.
Yeah.
Did he recruit you? Did he identify you? What's that relationship like with him, and does it go back a while?
Yeah, it goes back a while. So I can tell you a little story. I can say I was leading Texas in scoring at the time, and I was being overlooked. And I remember Coach Hood coming to one of my high school games, and I forgot where it was at, Sweeney, Texas. There was two schools there. It was McNeese and UTSA, because Coach Hood was at UTSA that day. And I remember McNeese was telling me something about I need to work on something, do something better. Coach Hood was like, forget that, man. We need you to come here and help us win. And when I seen that he believed in me, it was no doubt that I had to make that decision to go there with him. And ever since then, we just been really locked in because he always installed confidence in me. And I always been there for me. So me and Coach Hood go way back. And I got a lot of love for Coach Hood.
Kind of talk more about that relationship, because you remember what year that was he recruited? Anyway, you enrolled, what, in 2020?
Yeah,
So it was like a
2020.
year or two before that, or?
Yeah, it was like 2020. It was 2020.
So it was late. It was like, were
Yeah,
you
it was
were you
late.
senior?
Yeah, senior high school. It was late, and shoot, I can go way back. Coach Hood just cool, laugh a lot, and I remember I couldn't hit like a shot my freshman year of college, and Coach Hood was like, "Man, you gotta make a shot," and he was in the gym with me working out. We was working on my form, shooting and stuff like that, and then I ended up hitting my first three, and ended up leading the conference in three-point percentage as a freshman. So man, Coach Hood just always been there for me. Always helped me with the game, and just always like a father figure in areas. Like, man, Coach Hood's a good guy for
So
sure.
as far as this offense, he comes in this year. Was it not as big of a transition for you, even though you've never been at UCF, you've never played with these guys, but you were familiar with what Coach Hood likes to do offensively, right?
Yeah, I'm very familiar, but he kind of had his own twist to it. Coach Hood got. He's a genius with offense. He knows how to get players downhill. How to create space. And he also helped me still. He helped me still. Coach Hood's just a genius with the offense, man. He score in all kinds of ways. He know how to get Mustafa down, get him post touches. How to help Keyshawn get downhill, get DJ to get downhill. Help everybody look good. So he puts everybody in the right spots. And I love what Coach Hood is doing.
Jordan, I was going to ask about another one of your teammates, Mustafa. What he's a young man, a guy who should be still playing in high school, really honestly. But what have you noticed from him, and what kind of growth have you seen from him stepping up?
I seen a lot of growth from Mustafa from the summer. Like I always say, Mustafa's he shocked me. He did a lot of things well versus Houston, and they supposed to be one of the toughest teams. And a lot of people say a lot of things about Mustafa's size and he physical enough, but Mustafa's more physical than people think. It's just his mindset. When he has that mindset of being a dog and just not worrying about nothing, just being him, he's a monster. And he showed that. He showed that several times, several games. And Mustafa's going to be a great player and a great pro for sure.
Juice, kind of on the topic of reminiscing about your past. I mean, you came in as a collegiate player at the height of a pandemic. You went from UTSA to Pacific, back to UTSA, and now you're at UCF. Now that you're a fifth-year player and it's kind of the end of the journey, how do you think all of this experience has helped you for the next level and facing adversity and change and all that?
I could just, from one, just like transferring, going, just seeing different areas. It showed me how to gel with different players, different guys, and how to like bond quicker. That's when, in college you don't really have that much time to, get to know each other, but you got to do it fast. And that's one thing I learned in just certain areas, learning new people, different cultures. It's helped me too. It showed me a lot. So.
Yeah, and you mentioned your relationship with Coach Hood. I mean, even after you've moved on from UCF and he's no longer coaching you, how important is it going to be to keep that relationship for you as you go to the next level, just to keep those people in your corner that you've had?
Oh, it's always going to be good to keep Coach Hood around me. He still knows the game. He just talked to some of the pros that play with us at UTSA, like Keaton Wallace and Javon Jackson, and still give them advice. Coach Hood is a very intelligent basketball player in person, so it's always good to keep him around.
That's it.
Thank you, Joe.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Juice.
Thanks, Jordan.